What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe, and today I just wanted to do a little bit more of a chatty, chill, relaxed video with a more relaxed setting. So we are here in my bedroom. This is a kind of a different video for me as I'm not completely prepared. Well, actually that's probably not that new, but I just kind of wanted to do something kind of chatty and chill because I really have not had the desire to do videos lately, and I think one of the biggest factors and reasons as to why I'm not feeling that way lately is having to do with the depression that I struggle with. And wow, that's harder to talk about than I anticipated. I think a lot of us probably struggle with depression, anxiety, some sort of mental illness. I mean, so many of my friends do. I know I do. I was diagnosed with that back in my early 20s, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. I have been off medication for about 3 years, I think. So that's been really good. I have been doing great. I've really learned tools and tactics to deal with my mental illnesses, and that has been extremely helpful. However, my depression definitely worsens in the winter times with season changes and the sun going down. And oh man, do I miss the sun. So as the sun is starting to lessen, my mood, I can just tell, has just been shifting. This month has been particularly kind of difficult. Depression shows itself in a lot of different ways for many different people. The main way that depression and anxiety show up for me is by me becoming extremely apathetic, very lazy. I physically can't emote emotion. Like, I just don't feel anything. It's crazy how physical mental illness is. With that just comes a lack of me wanting to connect with people. It's extremely hard for me to want to be around people, to go the extra mile to communicate. Even, it's so weird, and if I'm not the only one that struggles with this, please let me know, because I don't know if it's just me being weird, but one thing that's really hard for me to do is like communicate to people even on social media. Like, you would think that would be easy, but even when people text me, or I get Marco Polos from my friends, or people comment on a picture I posted or on a video I posted, I like don't even want to reply. It just like feels difficult. I don't know what that is. It's just one thing that I've found myself struggling with lately. So anyway, with all that said, I have just not wanted to post videos. I've been feeling uninspired. I've been feeling apathetic. I've been just lacking the ultimate desire to create, and that's really hard for me because I am a creative person and I need to create. I need to be making things. So not making videos in the last few weeks has been really hard, and I've been missing it, but it's that like constant tug of war of like, oh my goodness, I miss it, and oh, I just don't want to do it. So it's just been a struggle, and I'm trying to battle it. You know, I'm doing fine, I'm doing okay. I have such a wonderful husband, family, friends who are just amazing support system, but I just kind of wanted to like open up the conversation here on my channel. I know that so many of you guys also struggle with it, and I just think the stigma and everything that surrounds mental illness, it just needs to continue to be broken, and it needs to just be out there in the open, and there needs to be more awareness. And you know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know everything, I really only know my struggle, and all I can speak of is that from my experience. So with all that said, if I start not posting as many videos, or if I'm not responding to you guys, it's not because I am not interested anymore. It's not because I don't super appreciate the kind words and encouragement you guys share with me. That means so much, but it's just hard. It's just difficult, and it's hard for me to fully explain and even understand myself, but that's just kind of where I'm coming from. I have all these great ideas that I want to do for videos, and I just find myself getting so overwhelmed with the thought of producing these videos because I fall so easily into the constant comparison, and when I also get in these depressive, anxiety-filled kinds of moods, I get really obsessive in my mind and I get kind of paranoid and I start overthinking everything, and it's completely exhausting. So this is my attempt at battling that. This video is a ramble and I'm even nervous to post it because everything within me is screaming, don't do that, it's weird, why are you talking, no one cares. But I want to keep creating. I don't want to give this up. I really enjoy it. I know I do, but that's just kind of a season that I'm in right now. So anyway, that's just kind of where I am at. Thank you guys so much for just some encouragement that I've been sent already. I had the nicest person reach out to me on Goodreads last night, and it was so random and it was so not expected, and it just, I can't stop thinking about it to today. Like, it's just so cool because it's kind of like just as soon as you think your art doesn't matter, like it does matter. The art that you create and that art that you put out into the world, it matters to someone, it matters to you, and it's important. And it's just really nice to be reminded of that sometimes. So I'm loving this community and I really love making videos, and I don't plan on stopping. I just might not be as active as I would like to be. Okay, with all that said, let me get a drink of tea first. That is piping hot tea. I'm about to spill the tea. Not really, I just wanted to say that because everyone else says that. I was super confused, by the way, when that saying came out, because I was like, what does spilling the tea mean? That sounds awful. Spilling your tea is just the worst. What are they talking about? And then I quickly came to realize that I'm just getting old and don't know what people are talking about anymore. So there's that. Oh, but maybe I am spilling some tea because I also wanted to talk about the 10 books that I have zero interest in reading. I didn't realize that. As someone who is a 9 on the Enneagram scale, I do not like conflict. This is probably the most scandalous video that I have done. It's not even that scandalous. So I just want to do a little disclaimer as we jump into this. The top 10 most popular books that I don't care about reading or don't have any interest in reading. A small disclaimer, if you love these books, I am so glad, because art and books go hand in hand, and art is so subjective and it's so personal and it's so unique, and this is not a diss on your favorite books at all, so please don't take it that way. Secondly, please encourage me to read one of these books if you love these books. I just haven't been encouraged to read them. Not that I need like personal encouragement to read a certain book, but I hear about them and I'm just not interested in any way. But if you've read these books and you love them and you want to encourage me to read them, please do. I welcome that. Like, bring it on. Tell me why you love it. Tell me why I should read it, why you think I would love it, and I might change my mind. So with all that said, these are the top 10 most popular books that I have no interest in reading. You know, never say never, but I don't plan on picking these books up at all anytime soon. I just don't. Okay, so first book or series of books. Some of these are series, but obviously if I don't pick up the first one, I'm not gonna pick up the rest. There's a bug on my ceiling. I don't think it's a spider, so I think we're okay. Come here, Scout. You guys wanna see my kitty cat? Come here. Hello, look at, he's so cute. Oh, he's so fluffy. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the first series books that I don't plan on picking up is 50 Shades of Grey. This one actually is a good one to start off with, because even if you encourage me to read it, I will not read this series. I am not interested in reading about what it is about. I'm not interested in seeing the movies. I'm just not interested in that. Personally, and this is again a personal thing, please don't be offended, but I'm married. I'm a married woman. There are definitely books that I read that have certain scenes in them, but to like actively pursue reading a book that is all about something like that, a sexual relationship between two people, especially one that sounds pretty problematic and pretty awful, I just will not pick up. I respect and love my husband, and I respect and love my marriage, and so for me to do that, I think would just not be respecting him. So please don't get offended, that's just my personal opinion. I just will not read 50 Shades of Grey. No way, no how. It's not happening. Okay, the next series, at this point I don't plan on reading it because there's so many other books that I'd rather read, and that is The Darker Shade of Magic. series. I know my friend Cassie, if she's watching this, is cringing right now and yelling at the screen, but I just have no interest in reading this book. I've never actually read any books by V.E. Schwab, Victoria Schwab, which I'm interested in doing that for sure. I would love to read, I think, Vicious, The City of Ghosts, or whatever. There's a couple of her books that I would really, really like to read, but this one is just not one of them. High fantasy is not my favorite. I started the audiobook a couple months ago, and the narrator and the things that were going on, I was like, well, the guy is going to the king and presenting him with the thing, and I'm just getting like his accent and the voice. I was like, no. I also had a really bad experience with Neverwhere. I think it's called Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, and I tried really, really hard reading that book. I got like halfway through and I hated it. And the whole like, I know that was like underground London, and then this book is like different colored London, like red, black, whatever, white London. It just reminds me of that, and so I get like, I have zero interest. I think I just like traumatized, so I just don't go back to that series. But I just don't plan on picking that up at all at this point. Again, please feel free to encourage me if you absolutely love that book. I mean, I've heard so many people rave about it, but it's just not something I want to read. Okay, the next series that I don't plan on reading is the Mortal Instruments series. I honestly can't even tell you what it's really about. I just know that there are a couple of YouTubers out there that love this series, and there's so many books in that series, first of all, and they're massive, and high fantasy, I don't know, I just don't think I'll like it. I've really come to know my taste in books, and I really don't think that's gonna be something that I would like, but I also don't know a lot about it. So if someone wants to explain it to me below, in the comments below, let me know what it's about. Maybe I'll try it out, but probably not. The next series of books, these are all actually turning out to be series. I'm so sorry. I think like all of these are series except for two. So the next series of books, this is so bad. This is actually spilling the tea. I don't ever plan on picking up a book by Jane Austen. I don't really care if you think that that makes me like not a reader. I read because I love reading, because I enjoy the time that I spent in a book. And I have attempted to read Jane Austen books in the past, and I have not liked it. And I don't like the writing. It's too difficult to understand. Maybe that makes me dumb. I don't really care. I just don't want to read them. I've seen some great movies though, but I just don't want to. Don't want to. The next series of books that I will not pick up, and I have tried, so this kind of counts and kind of doesn't, because I already read the first two, but that is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I love me some Court of Thorns and Roses, Aquavar, whatever. I love them, but I could not get into Throne of Glass. I got through the first two books, and then I spent about a year trying to read the third one, and it was not happening. So that series I will not pick up again. I tried really, really hard, you guys. Like, I really genuinely tried. I gave it the good old, what do they call it? I gave it the good old try. I don't know, but I just hated it. There were so many characters. Like, all of a sudden there were just all of these people that showed up in the third book, and like, the first one was really fun to read, and I loved that one, but then it just went, I mean, that was like a blip on the radar of the rest of the story. So yeah, just not gonna finish with that one. The next series of books that I never plan on reading is Game of Thrones. I am not a big fantasy reader, if you can't tell, and I absolutely love Game of Thrones, the show. My husband and I, we watch it together, and we love it, but I just don't foresee myself reading the books. I especially have a hard time reading books after I've seen the movie or the show. Like, it's hard for me to go back and read the books because I already know what sort of happens. I wasn't someone who grew up reading Harry Potter. I actually read Harry Potter a few years ago as a college student, and it was really hard for me to do that because I saw the movies before I read the books, and it really stunk because I already knew like most of the storyline. I mean, granted, the books were so much better, of course, but it's just really hard to go back once you see the movie because you kind of already know what's coming. So Game of Thrones I just won't do. Number 7 on the list of books I will never read is Zenith. I'm sorry. And it's not even because of all of the discussion that happened around Zenith on BookTube, but it's just genuinely something that I would never read. It's like sci-fi, fantasy, and the storyline just does not seem interesting to me. It could be written by anyone. It's not that it was written by a booktuber. I'm so glad. That's so cool. But like, I just don't want to read it. It just doesn't look like a book that I would ever have on my shelf or really even enjoy. Is that spilling the tea? I just once spilled the tea. Number 8 is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is one that like maybe years down the road I'll try. But I read the first one when it first came out. I thought I would absolutely love it and I just did not. I didn't enjoy the story. It was a chore to get through for me. I just didn't like the writing. I remember being really unsatisfied with the ending of that one. Granted, it's like the first one in a series, so maybe I should have thought that one through, but I just didn't enjoy that one either. It's weird because I normally would think I would love a book like that, but that was one that I just didn't enjoy, so I don't plan on picking up the series again anytime soon. Number 9 is the Lunar Chronicles. I think the premise and the idea of the series is so cool, but because I know that it's like sort of sci-fi and fantasy and it's a giant series, I just don't think that I would like it, so I just have kind of crossed that one off my list as well. I could maybe see myself getting into it, but that, I don't know. There's just so many other books that I would pick up before I ever pick up that series, so. And lastly, number 10 on the list of most popular books that I do not plan on reading is Strange the Dreamer. I hear this book come up so much. It's kind of like one of those ones that like everyone, or at least you feel like everyone has read. I could maybe be swayed on this, maybe, but it kind of sounds like a story, like it reminds me of Atlantis. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's about a guy who's really obsessed with like this mythical world, but then the world becomes like real. I could be wrong. I don't know, it just doesn't sound interesting to me. Again, please sway my opinions in the comments, but I just don't plan on picking that up. I just really don't. So yeah. Was that enough tea spillage for you? I still just don't really. I think I'm using that wrong. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I apologize. It was like not really super thought through. I just really wanted to make a video. I was missing doing it. And that's kind of all I have. Let me know in the comments below, out of all of those 10 books, which one you think I should read. Out of all the 10, what's the one that I should reconsider reading? Let me know. I'll get back to you. Alright you guys, well I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Wherever you are, be kind to someone today, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!